Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Doodle Robot, and today we're going to talk about how the granulating watercolors are going in coloring books. Short answer, awesome. But I'll show you some examples from all these coloring books that I've done or started or based or whatever. There's already been 2 videos where I played with them. So if you want to catch up on those videos first, I just, I did a bunch of experimenting on camera and off a little bit, and then explaining results. And so now I thought I'd show you some practical applications. So we're talking about 2 different brands. We're talking about the Gansai Tambi Granulating Watercolors. Oh, these are so awesome. I mean, look at these. And depending on how wet or how dry you use them, totally different results. So you really can't even judge by this. I'll show you what those look like. Super cool. So you get 5. You get Aurora Red, Aurora Pink, Orange, Blue, and Violet. They all start with Aurora. And then you get 1 for mixing, which I haven't really used yet. I just use a palette. So those are amazing. I have not used these as much as the White Knights, which are here. And there's a whole video about this, which I'll link in my description for you in case you want to see that one, where I'm playing with them more. Here I'm just going to be showing results. And then there are the White Knights, which there's the Earth palette, which looks like that. And there's kind of the, I don't know, the nighttime palette. It's got all like blues and purples, stuff like that, which look like that. So, and again, this is a small representation of what they do. Of course, depending on how much or how little water you use with them, it's going to vary. So I got the 2 palettes, and then I also got 3 individuals. This is Orange Mist, which I've been using a lot. You can see it's already well loved. Not a mistake to get the orange. So let's see which one. I think this one is the this one here, kind of the nighttime one. I don't think they have a title for it. I'm just calling it that for lack of a better word. This is the nighttime one. I've used both of them. This is the White Knights Earth palette. You can see more color variations in that one. Yes, getting well loved also. And then I bought 3. I was trying to get as many colors as I could. I bought 3 individual ones which weren't in any of the palettes, and so those are my other videos. You can catch them there. I'll link them below. I always link stuff below. Anything I talk about is linked below. So if you press it, you know, I get a teeny little amount of money from Amazon. So yeah, they're going great. So I will show you some results thus far. So if you watch my finished pages, you've already seen this one. This is Fairy Tales by Emily Oberg. And it looks like this. I think I just used the White Knights on this one. I used 2 White Knight greens here and also a Mei Liang yellow color to get that effect. I really like how it came out in the leaves. I'll bring those up so you can see them. Those are outlined in various kinds of paint pens and gel pens and stuff as well, just for, you know, an interesting effect. And then on the flowers, I used 2 different kind of orangey colors and possibly a Mei Liang one. Let's find my notes on that. Fairy Tales, flowers, Mei Liang, Cad Yellow and Orange Yellow, White Knight, Orange Mist. Oh, so 2 Mei Liang colors and the Orange Mist from the White Knights. Okay, so yeah, this was 2 White Knights, 1 Mei Liang, 2 Mei Liangs, 1 White Knights. And you can, of course, see it less because it's less of a thing. And then, I don't know, I saw this on a channel somewhere. They were doing it with different colors, and I wanted to give it a try, but I outlined everything with a gel pen there as well, which I like the way it came out, but it wasn't anything like what I saw, of course, but I do like the effect. So that was my very first attempt at using the granulating watercolors in an actual book out, and this book took it really well. Of course, there's a bit of buckling, naturally, but very little bleed through. There's just more staining from the Prismacolor just where it got underneath the page there. But yeah, I think there was 0 bleed through on this particular paper in this particular book, so very well. And you know what I am finding? I'm going to throw this on the floor. That's what noise you hear. I find that I've used mostly the White Knights, but there's less bleed through, I think, with these than with my Mei Liang colors. I'm thinking that maybe because the Mei Liang watercolors are dye-based, I believe. And I'm pretty sure that the White Knights, these are pigment-based. And I think that is probably why there is less bleed-through with these watercolors than with the Mei Liang. So, yeah, I may have to do some experiments and switch up my watercolors because of that. So this is a spoiler alert here, sorry. Don't look. If you're in the Daydreams group and you don't want to see it, don't look. So this is Daydreams by Hannah Carlson. And here I'm going to zoom you in a little bit more. Okay. Here I used White Knights and the Gansai Tambi. So the Gansai Tambi is the background area. And I was just painting it. I believe I mixed up Aurora Pink and Aurora Violet. I love where, you get some pinks and some blues. I love the light, soft effect. I asked my friends, Maya and Carrie Kay, if I should do another coat, and they each voted one way. So I just left it as one coat. I did touch up here and there a little bit, like here, there was kind of a big kind of water cauliflower mark that was distracting, I think, near the focal point. I touched that up a little bit, but I left it as one coat, and I like the soft look. There's a lot of artists, a lot of colorists out there that really get the soft look. I'm looking at you, be cozy, which I find difficult to emulate because, I don't know, I'm more of like bright color in your face kind of gal, but yeah, I left it because I'm like, I want the soft look for a change, so I really like how they did. And here's what they look like here, but here's what they look like here. And I was just painting them very watered down and on dry paper. So I wasn't wetting the paper and dropping the drops like I do. I did that for the leaves. There was a whole video of me, I don't know where it was, maybe in a whip thing, I'm not sure. Or maybe it was a robot report. For the leaves here, I did the White Knights, 2 different colors, and 1 Mei Liang watercolor, just like I did on the other book, exactly the same. And I painted and then dropped the waters on them and let it dry, let it spread as it would. Now, they look a little bit differently because on top of that, I wanted to pull out the purples and the pinks into here. I wanted these 2 leaves to have distinctly different colors. So I took Crayola and just lightly added some purple and some of the kind of the blue color into these leaves. And then of course I outlined them in a sparkly gel pen. So you can see, I really like how the 2 leaves have different looks, even though I was using similar colors. I used my new gouache on, what's the gouache called? My Hemi gouaches on the stems here. I love how they turned out. However, that was not the best way to go for that. So, gouaches in such a small space are kind of hard to do and more time consuming than it would actually be to just color it. So probably less time consuming in a big background, but more time consuming on small details. At least for what I was going for. You know, I was going for a highlighted edge and a dark edge, which took several coats and blending and all kinds of stuff. But I did love the way it works, and I love the effect. It just took a really long time. So here I used, I think, just one color. Let's look. One color of White Nights. I'm so proud of myself. I actually finished another one. We're now 2 for 3, I think. Daydreams. Let's see. Smallies. White Nights Yellow Green Mist and Mei Liang Lemon Yellow. So that's all I used on those. And then I went over them. This was where I did a basing. I went over them with Prismacolors Chartreuse, Lemon Yellow, and Spanish Orange. I wanted to draw in the Spanish Orange from both kind of the birds and the flowers. And so I love just that little kiss of orange that they have in them. And I like that the two leaves are drastically different. So yeah, in the finished pages, I'll tell you about the trials and tribulations of the background. I was painting the background on some other show somewhere, some other post that I made. And then I was going in and trying to shade them. Oh, it was a disaster. So I had to repaint over it. But stories for another time. Okay, yeah, so I really like the effects that I got with both the White Nights and the Gansai Tambi. Love that one. Love how it came out. Okay, I'm going to throw that on the floor. And then yesterday I went berserk because I'm like, oh, I really like these watercolors. I want to use them more. I had the day off, so I went berserk. And in Tales from Atlantis, this is from Hannah Carlson. The Hannah Carlson paper takes the watercolor so well. I'm going to zoom you down a little bit. Okay. So the background is Prismacolor here. That was a whole stimming thing. We've talked about that multiple times. And I've only just based these, what are they, jellyfish, in different colors of the White Nights here. I believe they're all from the Earth Tones and Orange Mist, separate Orange Mist. So we've got, I think this is Orange Mist here and here. This is, so if we look at this, so Orange Mist isn't on here because it's a single. This is Scarlet Mist here and here. Kind of gives it like a slightly dirty look to it. And it depends on how much you water them down or how much you leave them more full strength. Ruby Mist is here and here, and Rose Mist is all the little tiny ones in the back, and then here and just the little tail up there are Yellow Tough. And those are just based, so I think on this one, I think I'm just going to go crazy with gel pens. I don't know if they're going to be sparkly gel pens or flat gel pens or what. I think we have nice, everything's nice. I'd just like to touch it up with some gel pens on this particular one. I'll show you a different one where I have different plans for it, but yeah, so I think that that's coming out nice. It's a quick, easy page, and it just, there's nothing. And this is a big face, so I wouldn't have really cared if it got messed up, but yeah, there's no bleed through. So the Hannah Carlson paper is amazing, and these are 2 different runs of books, so it seems good in both books. All right, so we've got Curious Creatures. I did all of this yesterday. I was busy yesterday. Totally enjoying myself, just experimenting and in the moment. This is Curious Creatures by Millie Murati. You've seen this one before. I've showed the red background numerous times. Let's get you in there. I don't think I need to move you up. So this is just a base thus far. Here is Orange Mist and Scarlet Mist. I found that one color wasn't going to do it. I did just one color here, and it wasn't enough like variations. I want to be able to, in the Millie Murata books, I like to color each of the individual elements. It's like a big mandala. It just happens to be in the shape of a realistic creature. So this will save me a little bit of time because now I only need to color, what, maybe half of the elements, and I can leave the other base things poking through for interest, I think, especially since it's all modeled and cool and like very little effort, although it was hard to paint all the little bitty things, but it took way less time than, I mean, it will cut down on the time that I spend doing this page. Now this one is just, all those variations are from one color, and that's just Rose Mist. You're going to see a theme here. I basically had these out and I had them prepared, and there was lots left over, so I just kind of kept using them. So you'll see the theme, but they all look different, so that's kind of the beauty of granulating watercolors. So this is Rose Mist, and you get all these different purples and blues, which are cool. Again, so very pleased with that. I had no idea what I was going to do with this page upon finishing the background, but I found a way forward. So those are just based. More exciting stuff to happen. I think maybe I'll go in with colored pencil and of course some gel pen. I'm not sure, but there'll be more coloring on this one than say the Hannah Carlson one. All right, and last but not least, I was getting better as I went along, I think. Here we have some very bold experiments. Oh, let's bring back Hannah Carlson a little bit. I'm going to raise you up just a smidge. Okay. Let's see how it did on bleed through. So there's a little bit, that's Prismacolor. There's a tiny bit of bleed through. Teeny tiny amount. And I checked, before I did this one, I checked what the pages were on the back. It's like, am I very emotionally attached to them? Not too much. And a little bit of tiny bleed through there. So not much to speak of on Millie Murata paper. Which is good, because in another book I tested some of the Mei Liangs, because I wanted to do them. I had just the Blades of Grass one. If you follow me, you kind of remember that one maybe. I wanted to do some watercolor on the back of one of those. There's a big peacock on the next pages that follow, and I wanted to do some watercolor stuff, but I found that it bled through, and so I didn't. But I may go back now with the granulating watercolors and think about how to do that. All right, now, I did go berserk here. I went very berserk. So this is Alien Worlds by Kirby Rosanis, and I'm in a group, Alien Worlds, that Happy Catastrophe is running, so if you want to join that group, hit up Candace for that. And they're kind of going in order, like they're doing the book in order or something, or Candace is anyways. I'm not going to do that, but I wanted to participate at least once, and maybe if they catch up to the next page I want to do, I'll do that page with them. But you can see there was bleed through here. But I was very heavy-handed with this one. So, here is what we have thus far. Now, I'm not a watercolorist, and maybe you could achieve this with normal watercolor. Probably you can. I don't know, but it just seems like it saves a few steps with granulating watercolors, because there's multiple colors mixed in them, and you get multiple variations of the color. So for the rings, I first based it in, and this is all this is all White Knights. There's no Gansite Tambi in this. I first based with a really light layer of Ruby Mist, and you know, there's a few boo-boos because it was a little bit, like it bled a tiny bit here. It bled more over here because of what I was doing, but just a tiny bit. If I were more careful, I probably could have stopped the bleed through. I was just, in some areas, it was just a little bit heavy-handed, but I was like having a ball. So, you know, these things happen in life. So I based it, and then I went over it with different strengths of Ruby Mist, but I wanted it to be messy style, kind of impressionistic painting. Different streaks of that, different streaks of Scarlet Mist, different streaks of Yellow Tuft, and of course my favorite, Orange Mist. They're all in there, but they're going in this direction, the direction of the rings. And so I'm thinking, I mean, it looks a little bit sloppy right now, but once I color over with what I don't know yet, once I cover over all the asteroids that are in there, it should look less messy and get that streak that I'm going for. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I've been having allergies and inner ear problems, so I've actually gotten more coloring done because I'm home a lot, but it's a problem. I'm going to take a drink here. Okay. So for the space, which I don't think I've even colored or painted in a coloring book, I used mostly from the Night palette. I did a base coat with Hematite Mist, and then I went over it with all kinds of colors, more Hematite Mist, but aquamarine, you can see that a little bit there, a little bit over here. Aquamarine Mist, Violet Mist, Gray Rose Mist, Violet Shadows. I believe there's a little Rose Mist in there, as well as Scarlet Mist and Ruby Mist. Possibly. Maybe even some Orange Mist. I don't know. I just wanted to pull some of these colors over to here. Now, I'm liking that. I am going to go over it with some acrylic paint and put some stars in there, so it's just kind of based right now. And I did leave this undone because I'm thinking this is the moon to this planet. So it's going to be emanating some shine there out into space. So I didn't really need to go close to the moon. Okay. So yeah, so this one is done. The rings are done. Like I said, that's kind of just a base coat. We're going to be going and adding more things to that. But I like how it's coming out so far, and this was fun. It was quick, it was easy, it was fun, and not a watercolorist, so there were some trials and tribulations there doing that, but I'm really liking it. It's just many layers slowly, because it's very transparent, so it's many layers slowly kind of added to it. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that, and I feel like I've just barely tapped that much of the potential of granulating watercolors, so I'm excited to have lots more experiments with them. Alright, so that is all I have to show you. So the long answer was they're awesome. I'm slowly figuring out the potential here and there, but I have a long ways to go. The short answer is, super awesome. I really like them. Alright, well, I thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day. Live long and prosper. Bye-bye.